What is up there everyone, it's the guy with no gamer tag here and welcome to Battlefield 4 Mastery, the series where I try and master as many weapons in Battlefield 4 as possible, and in the comments you can leave comments saying which weapons you would like me to do first. Today we're talking about the Aug A3. This is an assault rifle. It has a high bullet velocity, which means that its bullets won't drop as far as in other rifles. It has low aiming down sight accuracy because this gun has really got an issue with balancing. I think DICE really need to rework what they were trying to do with this gun. It has good hip fire and it has moderate recoil. It's easily controlled with a 30 round magazine. Now, because of its extremely unusual characteristics, low aim down sight accuracy but high bullet velocity, also having good hip fire accuracy, means that the gun is kind of like a wet cake. It's just kind of useless. It's sort of a very inconsistent gun. It's basically a bipolar gun. It will either do you really well or it will be a complete pile of dog doo. And I found this to be the case when I was trying to find a setup that worked for me. I spent so long trying to not make compromises and try and make the best setup for the gun, and it actually took me more than 400 kills to find a setup I actually liked. But I would say that this gun is most effective at close quarters because at medium to longer ranges it will suffer from its low aim down sight accuracy. So if you stay in close quarters, the gun should perform well. I found that I was actually outgunning some people who had submachine guns because it seemed to do quite a lot of damage at close range. I found that using the heavy barrel does increase your accuracy, but it does also increase your recoil and it ruined the hip fire. So I tried it and it just didn't work because it ruined the hip fire of the gun, which is one of its redeeming properties. And it really is, it's a good gun when it's being favourable. When your shots are actually hitting, it is really good and it will take people out pretty quickly, but you'll get times where it's just not going to hit anyone. And now in terms of loadouts, I would always use an angled or folding grip. This reduces your first shot recoil, which means that when the recoil starts it is much more controllable, because I found it slopes up a bit slower, so it means that you can keep it level a lot easier. In terms of sights, I would either use a Cobra or Reflex RDS. It's a one-time sight and it gives a fairly good field of view. I personally preferred the Cobra because it isn't quite as blocky as the Reflex sight. Now, I would also put a green laser sight. You could just stick with normal laser light or a tri-beam laser sight. I just stuck with green because there is a chance that actually the enemies won't register you as an enemy because they will not associate green as being bad. Now, for muzzle attachments, I would either put a muzzle brake or a suppressor on it. My personal preference is actually to put a muzzle brake on the gun, because when I had the muzzle brake I just seemed to do better. The suppressor works well. It allows you to not be on the enemy's minimap and reduce your weapon sound, but I just found it didn't help with accuracy like the muzzle brake did. Anyway guys, I do hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to suggest guns you want to see me do next time. This has been the guy with no gamer tag. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you on another video.